I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. Welcome to our Word of the Day series, where I've been taking your requests for words you'd like help to pronounce in American English. Today's request was for the word politicians, and while we're looking at that word, we'll also look at politics and political. And these words are a great lesson because when talking about them, we can look at how they're spelled, what the vowel letters are, and what the vowel sounds are. What you'll notice is that the vowel sounds change even though the letters stay the same because we have different syllable stress in these words. So let's break it down and help you to pronounce these smoothly and easily in your everyday speech. First of all, looking at the word politics, we have first syllable stress. The pol syllable is long, and the litix syllables are short and have reduced vowels. The letter O says the vowel ah in politics. That's pretty typical in American English when we have an O, often in a stressed syllable or in a single word where the O is stressed, it's actually an ah sound. So that's the first thing to watch out for. It's just like not, job, problem, etc. All of these words have an ah sound, nothing rounded like an O. Then we have the two unstressed syllables, and here I wrote it with a schwa, sounds like and an I, like indeed and different. You probably can say politics or politics, doesn't matter too much because those second two syllables both just have reduced, very fast vowels. I wrote it here with the la just because I want you to think about really going quickly over it. Politics, politics, and not having any kind of E-like sound for these letter I's. Definitely a reduced I or in those. Letter S in politics says the S sound. It's after a voiceless consonant, so politics. And yeah, that's all I want to say about that word. Then when we switch to political, we have second syllable stress. So now my letter O no longer says the ah like in politics. Instead, it has a schwa. It's very short and reduced. Political. That's because the lid syllable is stressed. It has the clear vowel and the length. Political. And then again, this I wrote it as an I, but here I wrote it kind of more like a schwa. Political. Doesn't matter. I'm just very reduced on that vowel. And finally, this letter A basically has no sound. I go right from the K to the L, kul. That's a syllabic L. That's where the L is its own syllable, serves as a consonant and a vowel. So you do want kind of a dark schwa sound as you're moving into the L. Keep the back of the tongue down and lift the front of the tongue. Kul, political. You'll notice that this T in political is a flap. I wrote it here as a D because it's voiced and it's a light touch up, political. Whereas in politics, I typically say a true T there rather than a flap sound, politics. That difference is another thing to watch out for between those two words. Then when we move to politicians, what we have is our main stress on the tish syllable, here with tish. But we do have secondary stress on the pa syllable. So we go back to our original ah sound. We're not as long or stressed on this, but it does retain the clear vowel. So political, but politicians. So I don't want to stress that with a lot of length. I just use the clear vowel, and then my length comes on the tish syllable. Again, we have a schwa here or an I sound, pala or politicians. The letters CI say the SH sound, the sh sound. And titians, again, here we have just basically no vowel for this A. We go right from the SH to the N sound, a syllabic N, just like we had a syllabic L here. Shuns. And then in politicians, letter S does say the Z sound because it follows a voiced consonant. If you want to learn more about what letter S says, I do have videos for how to read letter S, whether it says S or Z. the S or Z sounds, particularly in plurals. This is helpful to know about, so you can watch my videos about plurals. You can also learn about all of the sounds of English, like the syllabic L, like the vowel sounds, in our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com. That course is on sale for under $2 to make it accessible to everyone, and it's a great foundation for pronunciation for all words and sounds of English. You can also get more detailed help on American accent, how to sequence sounds, accent patterns in our 6-week course. All of our online courses are either free or available for under $2, so I highly recommend checking those out on speechmodification.com. Once I can say politics, political, and politicians by themselves, I do want to try practicing them in some short phrases just so they come smoothly and naturally to me in my everyday speech. You might find that you can master a word by itself, but then when you go to use it, it doesn't always come out the new way. So practicing, building up that skill will really help you get more fluent with your English. I've been following politics by watching the news. I try to not be political in my videos. Oftentimes the politicians are balancing what their constituents want and how to compromise to get things done. Okay, thank you so much for that request. If you have a word or a phrase you'd like to see me cover in our Word of the Day series, please feel free to leave that in the comments for this video or any of my videos. It is Friday today, which means I'll be back again at 12 o'clock Seattle time, 3 o'clock Eastern time with our live question and answer class. You click the links to attend that in YouTube and type your questions in the chat. I answer them for you live. We often talk about word pronunciation, accent patterns, sounds, whatever you're struggling with and need a little extra help on, please feel free to ask about that. If you can't make it to the live class, you can watch the replay and ask your questions in the comments. I always answer the comments and give you links for resources. Excuse me. If I don't have a resource for your question, I may cover it for you in a future class. Thanks so much to those of you who have subscribed to the channel, and particularly I'd like to thank our channel members. Channel members, you can ask your questions at any time, and I cover them for you once a week in our Sunday class. You can attend that live, or if you leave me comments, I will cover it for you and you can watch the replay. No need to attend live. You can still get answers to your questions right away. If you haven't yet checked out channel membership, it's a great way to support the channel and to get some extra perks like some free videos and classes just for channel members. Thanks so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you again in our live class later today. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you in class later today.